Thanks so much for making our tails wag by watching this guest interview from Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life. Four-Legged Life. Now, here comes another pawsome guest interview from Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life. Four-Legged Life. Four-Legged Life.
Pause up, pet pals. Welcome to Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life show. I'm your host, Arden Moore. For today's show, I have two words that describe a new cool trend. Adventure cats. Does your indoor cat have a case of the blahs? Sure, you can create a safe enclosure, catio, that will allow your kitty to safely check out the great outdoors. But some cats want and deserve more. Our first guest is answering their pleads. Please give pause and applause to the founder of Kitty Cat Go, the trend-setting Emily Hall. Welcome to the show, Emily.
Hey, Arden. Thank you so much for having me.
You know, I never thought I'm going to say this next sentence. You ready for it, Emily?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Take a hike, kitty. I think you should get t-shirts. Take a hike, kitty.
That's a good one. I love that.
There you go. So some people have seen that commercial with this brown striped tabby named Walter. I think it was a truck commercial during the Super Bowl last year. And this cat was running around, jumping in a truck, running down a pier, flying in the water. You have a lot of Walters in your group, Kitty Cat Go. So let's just bring it down to the basics. What the heck is an adventure cat?
Yeah, so an adventure cat is just one that likes to go outside on a harness and leash. I always encourage people to use a harness and leash for safety. We don't want our kitties running off, getting lost, getting eaten by something. So we keep them strapped in with that harness and leash. We go, yes, we take hikes, but it can be just as simple as hanging out in the backyard. There are adventure cats of all varieties. There are some that like backyard hangs, the hiking, the camping. Then there are some that just like to take a stroll down the sidewalk.
Preference. How do you say that? Preferences?
Preferences, yes.
Well, I kind of dig that, but all of them kind of tap into all their senses, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So cats, as you know, Arden, they have a lot of needs mentally and physically, and taking them outside on their harness and leash helps them meet some of those needs. It lets them get out some of that energy. It lets them experience the sights and the smells and the sounds of the outside world that they wouldn't otherwise get to do.
So did you just have a dream one day and say, I think in addition to my full-time job, being married, having a cool pets at home, I think I'm just going to create Kitty Cat Go. Can you give us the backstory? What started this for you?
So I will credit my cat Sophie with the inspiration. Yeah, because
Pause up, Sophie.
Yeah, pause up, Sophie. She has a neurological disorder, and so she's wobbly. And so my husband, because we knew she couldn't run off or get away because of her disorder, we would take her out and play with her in the backyard. And she loved it. She thought it was the best thing. So I eventually got her a harness and leash, and we started taking her more places. When we would go to the park, we'd take her with us. And she has just always had this unique calmness to her where she's not bothered by people. She loves other people. She loves dogs. She loves everyone. And so taking her all these other places just seemed natural to her. And she took to it very naturally and loved it so much. So as we added more kitties to our family, I started harness and leash training them all. And some of them like it more than others. I have a couple that really love it a lot. And
I think one of them, Kylo. Kylo's
Kylo.
He or she?
He.
All right. Always masculine. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. He's a big time hiker. That's his favorite. He loves to hike and he loves to camp. He goes camping with us too.
Well, for all you on YouTube tuning in, I got to tell you, my cat, pet safety cat Casey, is in love with Emily and says, Emily, Arden puts me on a harness and a leash, and I do go in pet strollers. And we haven't done a hike, but I love to be at airports. He's been in 13 states by plane. So I think it does. I think being outside, getting out of the house in a safe manner does a cat good, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. It's such a good form of mental and physical enrichment and stimulation for them. And I mean, even like you said, just taking them in a stroller to the pet store or somewhere like that is really enriching to them.
So, what is your day job that you pay your bills with?
I am a music teacher. My husband and I
Oh,
have a business that we own and run, and we teach private music lessons out of our home.
so I was a glockenspielist. Any
Ooh,
chance for a career in that?
sure. I mean, I also am. I'm a percussionist, so that's one of
Oh,
my
all
things.
right. Yes, I was like
Yeah.
the only chick in the percussion section in
Yeah,
junior high and high school, and I can do a mean Avon lady on a glockenspiel. Ding dong.
that's awesome.
So you played the drums and everything?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. All right. I'm going to say it more than often, but people write it down. What's your website?
kittycatgo.com.
That is awesome. So, how long have you had Kitty Cat Go as a concept? And now you've got a lot of followers, but when did you launch this whole adventure cat program?
Well, I officially launched Kitty Cat Go in March of 2020. So right as the world was
Oh, no.
falling
Yeah.
apart, yeah. And then going out and traveling with your cat was, a little bit more difficult to do. But I've been adventuring and traveling with my cats for about 10 years.
Okay.
I just didn't decide to turn it into a business venture until 2020.
Well, I'm just saying, Kitty, we got to keep 6 feet apart from all these two-leggers approaching us, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So where do you guys call home? What's your city?
We're in Macon, Georgia.
Macon, Georgia. So are you
Mhm.
close to a lot of cool places to hike?
We do have some nice hiking areas in our vicinity. And we have some that are not too far of a drive. We have a really nice state park that's just a couple hours away or a little less than 2 hours. And we
Hmm.
go camping and hiking there, and it's really nice. So, yeah, we're pretty lucky to have a lot of places nearby.
So we're going to take a break in just about a minute, but let's get the your pet lineup. What do you and your hubby have?
We have quite a collection.
Oh no.
We have 7 cats,
Wow.
2 sugar gliders, and 1 dog.
And what's the dog's name?
Django.
Django? Okay, not like the game where everything topples. Django. Django.
No, Django. He's named after my one of my husband's favorite guitarists.
And does Django get to go with Sophie and Kylo sometimes?
He does. He is also a big time hiker and adventurer, so it's a good pairing.
Any concept idea of being able to create sugar glider go?
Uh, I don't think so. They're a little too squirmy. I don't think I could get them on a harness.
Hey everyone, we're speaking with Emily Hall. She is the founder of Adventure Cat program. It's called Kitty Cat Go. The website is full of great tips, tricks, and ideas to keep the adventure safe and enriching. We're going to dive into that after we take this break. So you guys know the drill. Sit, purr. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Four-Legged Life Show. I'm your host, Arden Moore. We're chatting with Emily Hall. She created Kitty Cat Go. It's a great concept for people with cats that really don't want to just sit on a windowsill and groom and purr and sleep and eat. You're breaking that cycle. You're expanding that cycle, right, Emily?
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's talk about some things. You had to get the message out, and we're in COVID.
Hmm.
So, how did you go from an idea and have Sophie and Kylo hanging out with you and hikes and walks and other adventures? You got the website out, but is there some tips you can give people? Because you have some big news to share with everybody. You were doing this like a live Facebook feed, right? But tell us what happened and what's happening now.
Yeah, so I have my live show that's streams on YouTube and Facebook once a month, and I have guest experts. Actually, you have been one of my guest
I
experts
had a
before.
blast.
Yeah. And I'm now taking that show and launching a podcast, which launches, yeah.
There's my musical contribution to you. That is
Yeah.
cool. So tell us you hope to do it maybe sometime in October, November?
Yeah, I'm hoping mid-October. So the podcast will be called the Kitty Cat Go Adventure Podcast. And I'm really excited for that launch. Your episode is actually going to be one of the first episodes to be released.
All right. That sounds congratulations. Oh my God, this is terrible,
Thank
guys.
you.
I know. So on your site, the one thing I really, really liked is that you have a lot of good information about what kind of gear, how to train a kitty, even some quality leashes and collars. Because can we just kind of touch upon that? What kind of cat or kitten would you say would really dig being an adventure cat? What's the personality?
Well, there are definitely some personality traits that are the most common to the cats that like to go out and do a lot. I would say ones that have a lot of energy, ones that are friendly and don't mind being handled, ones that are calm and confident, and so maybe not spooked and scared by loud noises and sudden movements, because when you're outside, you don't know what, you can't predict what might happen or who or what might come up behind you or around you. So you need a cat that's calm. But that's not to say that cats can't be trained. Like even if your cat isn't naturally like that, you can work with them and get them trained to be comfortable with those things. You just have to take it slowly. And then also, we mentioned it before, you don't necessarily have to take your cat hiking or to the pet store. You can take them out just in their backyard where maybe they're comfortable with that because they're not comfortable going out and doing the bigger things. And that's great too.
What we've done when the weather isn't blazing hot here in Dallas is with our kitties, we've got one of those pop-up enclosures, the lightweight with the zipper.
Yeah.
And on a nice cool day, we put them in there with their little amenities, and they can be in all different sides of this octangular shaped pop-up tent. And they're kind of getting close to a squirrel or a bird, and they're feeling good. So what do you think of that's just like an easy thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There are lots of really great ways you can safely let your cat experience outdoors, like in those enclosures. You mentioned patios.
Yeah.
The harness and
we
leash.
actually built on our house. We built a 15 by 30 deck with a roof on it, and half of it is enclosed. And because we have dogs and cats, we call it a patio.
Nice, I like it.
And we have a TV, so so that's the catios are good. The one thing maybe you can help us with is how do you pick a good collar and harness? Because I know that the leash has to be on the harness. You don't want any problems with the neck. But can you give us some tips on what would make a quality harness or leash for a kitty that wants to be out and about with you?
Yeah, absolutely. I really like the harnesses that have the straps that go both around your cat's neck and around their abdomen, and then that also have a piece that goes across their chest.
Okay.
Because those seem to be the most secure. There's no such thing as a 100% escape-proof cat harness. So don't let anyone fool you. I mean, obviously some are better than others, but it comes a lot down to the training, making sure that you properly trained your cat and that you also know how to handle the leash, because depending on how you're positioned, the cats can back out of their harness if you're like in front of them. So it's important. The harness is important
because they have a flexible spine that we don't have, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the human also plays a really big, important part in the safety and your cat staying in the harness. So you have to stay behind them, and as long as your harness is secure and properly fitted, and that you are handling them correctly, then you shouldn't run into any trouble.
So the other aspect is I've been seeing kitty backpacks. Those sounds. I haven't put Casey in. He's a long, lean, purring machine. He knows how to walk on a leash with a harness, and he rides in a pet stroller. But I'm just thinking, what a fun thing to have Casey pop his head out of a backpack. But how are they different because they're for kitties?
Yeah, so a cat backpack they're coming out with more and more, which is awesome. You want to have a backpack that has good ventilation,
Right.
so that they're not too hot. They get plenty of air circulation. So the best cat backpacks have a lot of that mesh stuff, like around the sides and the tops. That way, one,
Okay.
your cat can see out, and two, they have proper ventilation. They have zippers, so that way you can fully enclose them if you need to, or you can unzip the tops. Like you said, they can
Pop
pop their head out and,
like a
and take
kitty
a look
piece of toast.
around. Yeah. Yeah. So
Now,
there's,
the other aspect is I have trained all my cats to come to a whistle. And I've done that with every cat. So sometimes if a cat slips out a front door or something, one cat I actually did to the Jeopardy theme song,
nice.
whistle.
That's funny.
And my cat at the time knew that I was the only idiot whistling that and would come to me. Is there something you can do? Because gosh forbid a kitty gets out. How do you not panic? And is there something that maybe like a whistle that the cat would know, or treats? What's your tips?
Yeah, so I'm a big proponent of clicker training and recall training. So,
Good.
like, yeah, you can use a whistle. You can have some sort of distinctive call that your cat knows is you, that you've trained them to come to you for. And I use clicker training to train that recall, and treats. That's a big part of it. And so I definitely recommend recall training as an important part of the whole adventure cat training as a whole.
And how can people find out more about you, Emily Hall, and Kitty Cat Go? What's some social media links?
Well, you can find me on Instagram at Kitty Cat Go Adventures.
And also, your website is Kitty Cat Go.
Yeah, my website, kittycatgo.com.
We just have a little bit of time left. What is one cool place you either took Kylo or Sophie that just rocked all your worlds?
Ooh, Kylo, his biggest trip has been out to Kansas City to
Ooh.
A conference. That
Really?
was a big one. Yeah.
Was he a speaker?
No, we were just attending.
Okay.
It was a pet blogging conference.
And what about for Sophie?
Sophie has been to the beach.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
She likes the beach. Yeah.
That sounds good. Hey, everyone.
Yeah.
We've been chatting with Emily Hall. She is the creator of Kitty Cat Go. Check out her website. Check out to see if your cat wants to be an adventure cat. Pause up, pet pals. Thanks for watching. If you liked my video, please hit the like button. Also, subscribe to my channel. I want to keep providing you with great guests, special first aid tips, and yes, more videos of these guys. See you next time. Pause up!